If not at 100%, means making a World Cup final. Life's not too bad. So Jerne Kruder pulls back on. Hopefully the issue with the clock has been sorted. He seemed to take it in reasonably good heart, as he seems to take most things. And as you mentioned, Jamie Cassidy, a member of the route setting team here, which is led by Laurent Laporte, set this boulder. Quite hard to tell from that angle. We'll see it front on. They're basically back-to-back identical holds, but actually the holds that produces are not quite identical. They're all slightly, subtly different. You can see Jerne side pulling, Gastoning, heading for the top. This could be a great start to the final for him. The tongue's out. He's trying hard and he's latching that top hold. Jerne Kruder. And I can understand why. He pulls on, so either he's got a different clock than we have.
Yeah, there's a chance they might have dropped into the manual stopwatches, but Alexei carries on nonetheless. The clock does seem to have redeemed itself in the bottom corner there.
Yeah, it skipped from 3:59 to 3:39, so time's flying, but when you're having fun, I like to say. These are the side pulls I'm talking about. As I say, they're created with identical holds, but somehow they're not quite identical due to the spacing. So just when you think you've got them figured out, turns out you haven't. But one thing we'll get from Alexei Rubtsov, if there's a fight, and he looks in a pretty handy position here to go for that top hold. No worries.
Yeah, he did really well there just to not have any issues. He was worrying about the clock.
Also made the two lead finals in China in October of last year in Wuzhong and Xiamen. Basically brought bouldering tactics to the table, just started climbing and didn't stop until he fell off. No resting involved. He's certainly got no shortage of power.
Yeah, no shortage of crimping ability as well, and he'll be really at home on this next set of holds, you would have thought. Absolutely desperate through there, really great move.
Just to confirm, Alexei Rubtsov flashed boulder 1, Jerne Kruder got the zone on his first go, and he got the top on his second go. So as it stands, Alexei Rubtsov out on his own with a perfect start to the final, one flash.
Terrible combination of handholds here, but it's amazing how they managed to create 3 or 4 moves in the space of just 30 centimetres or so. Now he's eyeballing the top hold. Looks like he's going to try and fire it off the left hand. Goes for the top, latches it with one hand, brings in the second. Nicely done. No issues in the end for John Wachomi. Said he likes the crimps. But this really could suit him. I think he might have already had one attempt. Here we go then.
So first good look at them two. That's how you do it, Jerne Kruder. The route setters must have loved watching that. It'd be great to see a slow motion replay of that. He seemed to be moving forever.
It's not over yet though, into the pair of noses at the top of the wall.
Yeah, the witch's noses, the route setters described this as. This is not an easy move. He's got to compose himself. He's got that one with his pinky with the left hand. Now he adjusts it. No, he sticks to the pinky method. It's a reasonable hold he's going for, but you can't just lunge for it. You've got to go nice and smoothly, just like Jerne Kruder did. And as earlier, never second out. And Alexei Rubtsov, pure power. Surely no. Oh yes, it's a big jab. And just leave us up onto that left foot. Says to the route setters, nice try, but I'll just power it. Witches with the pinkies out right to the top.
If he doesn't do that, it's going to be all about the contact strength and the skin strength in his palm.
And that's how he does it. As I said, the body ended up pretty much horizontal, and but he made it stick. Shoulders of steel. So it's not in the bag yet. We've seen everyone else bring it home from here, but it's not looked a sure bet by any means. He's got to get both those holds with his pinkies. Not the most dignified looking move, and then just calmly go up with the right and then the left. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that was a really good show of fast learning. Another point to note here is how much skin is lost on these types of moves. Just sort of shredding your way through the volumes. Literally rubbing your hand down each of those fiberglass volumes. They're all quite coarse, brand new fiberglass volumes.
Oh, Manuel Cornu! What a moment! Crowd went wild, and as well they might. That was extraordinary. Okay, let's see what he's got from there. We have to see a replay. That was incredible.
I'm not sure if that constitutes as a downwards dyno or not. That was absolutely ridiculous.
That was incredible. That was incredible for Manuel Cornu. Okay, so he's got to go out right. As I mentioned, now got to get rid of all that adrenaline and quietly inch his way out across a 10-degree overhanging wall on pretty poor holds. Is he? Please don't drop this, Manu. I try and maintain neutrality, but please don't drop this after getting that move done. Oh no, Manuel Cornu. Convinced about watching the IFSC live stream. Just go back, download the YouTube video of that, and show them that. That was incredible, and that was incredible from Tomoe Narasaki. Crowd in Meiringen being treated to an extraordinary show. Tomoe Narasaki gets that first go. If this boulder was going to be flashed, you'd imagine it would be Tomoe Narasaki who did it, and he's pretty close. Again, Tomoe, please don't drop this. He's close, he looks nice and in control. Lines up the top hole, Tomoe Narasaki flashes that boulder. As soon as he walked out for observation and he looked at that, he must have been licking his lips.
On men's number 2, Jakob Schubert's cut there and does the break again.
And now he's cruising. He's on it now. Just his composure, he doesn't need rush in any way. It's all the time in the world. He's got a couple of relatively okay moves left and more than a minute to do them. He just needs to find his balance point. That's it. Calmly move the feet. Set himself up here. Just see if he can find somewhere for that right foot. He goes without it, gets the job done anyway. Well, Mike, if you can think of a more exciting boulder.
That's why they're stuck in. Maybe that's slightly misleading for the climbers. You know, they're reading what the book tells them effectively. Yone Kruger might down to that zone. Start reading. Here he goes again for another attempt. Looking quite comfortable on the blue screw on the set of white holds there. Pushes into the corner again. It's a long way down. That is level with his right foot. The next handhold is incredible leg strength there.
Incredible flexibility. Oh, makes it incredible ability, I was going to say, to keep that down. He could getting somewhere.
What a journey. Is up and then all the way in to go back up again.
Just before we see a white, the top white hold is, and there's the top above it. And Yone looking pretty promising here. It's a good top hold. It's not a great one. It's good enough for Yone Kruger though.
A good part of the hold with your hands, but he might try that. Does jump straight back on with 2 minutes 30 left. Will he be using a similar method? So many options available to the climbers on men's number 3. Goes into the corner nicely this time, just wedges his head and his shoulder into the right hand groove. Now looks for something across the wall, goes for a panel joint, a bit of a thumb catch on a panel edge, I believe that is legal. Now just wiggling himself across. He is on the left foot, but I think he's going to have to head downhill. He's got himself in a position where he's really going to struggle to move out of here. Goes for the Manu Cornu method, just drops down, 100% commitment there. If that didn't go right, you feel like he might have lost his front teeth. But now gets himself up. This is looking good from Tomoe.
Tomoe Narasaki. 1 minute 40 left on the clock. He may not need much time because he's on the second to last hold. He's eyeing up the top, just trying to figure out what to do with that right hand. And there it is. The Tomoe pop makes quite a big distance look very, very small when he does that.
That was up to that thumb to cut, the upside down thumb catch on the right hand side. So he had a really good method, but just sort of maybe just rushed it a little bit. He has a minute left still. Here he goes again. He gets into a very similar position. Now he needs to find that foot swap. Looks like he's going to drop all the way down this time. Does it as not a downwards dyno, but ends up in the same position. Fights his way all the way through. Manu Cornu once again is putting on a huge battle here. And please don't fall off the top once again.
Manuel Cornu, talk about going through the ringer tonight. What a note. He's had a roller coaster. Getting plenty of encouragement for the crowd. As you would expect, 25 seconds to go. Time becoming an issue here because the best way to do this move is to do it slowly.
is really tough with just 12 seconds left. He's very close to running out of time, but it is a quick move to finish. There is no buzzer in the arena, so he needs to move now, and he's just died on the boulder. Manu Cornu, like Charlie.
Podium, he missed the zone on boulder 3. So our podium is set. Can definitely bump himself up the order though, could be into 4th. Pretty handy start to the season. Again, surely a boulder that Jakob can get on with.
Yeah, you were saying earlier this is a real power endurance piece that could really suit Jakob Schubert. It'd be a really nice way to go out in the competition with a top. We always like to see all the boulders tops. This is an absolute show of force here from Jakob Schubert. It's not really going to affect his performance, but he's putting on a really good show and just saying, yeah, I'm still here, I've still got something left in the tank.
Jakob Schubert could be heading for the final top of the night. I think he liked that one. Jakob Schubert, tops men's for the route setters, have got it absolutely spot on.